Euro dollar daily forecast, March 8th, fxempire.com. The euro dollar had a relatively quiet session during Wednesday, which makes sense as Thursday today has the announcement of participation in the Greek private bondholders as far as willing to take the haircut. This, of course, will be major news for the euro, so needless to say, it's really not a surprise that it pretty much sat still. The announcement comes out at 3 p.m. New York time, which is Eastern Standard Time. For those of you outside of the United States, you can look it up either way. And this will decide the participation rate of the quote unquote voluntary haircuts. And by voluntary, they mean you're willing to do it to avoid CDSs firing off everywhere. If CDS credit default swaps fire off, could cause another financial major crunch like we saw in 2008. Really, the biggest problem is nobody knows who's insured who against what, and then you get into the problem where the banks don't want to lend to each other. Odds are this will probably pass with a certain amount of people being involved. The Greeks also have the ability to force people to take this haircut as well, without getting into that convoluted mess. Quite frankly, the Greeks are defaulting. Doesn't matter what you call it. It's really technicalities at this point that the markets are interested in. So, having said that, we look at the charts and we see that 130 is an obvious support area. That if it gets broken below, obviously something horribly wrong has happened, and the euro is in the middle of selling off and possibly even melting down if we get too much farther below that. Alternately, the 135 mark is very resistive, and if we can get above that, then obviously the world's saved, everything's great, cats and dogs can live in harmony, and the euro goes on. Truthfully, though, between here and there, there's going to be a lot of noise. With that being said, we have 132 as a bit of a 132 and a half, excuse me, as a bit of a midway point, so that could be watched as well. But more than likely, this is going to be a very difficult pair to trade, and even unless we get some kind of catastrophic or extremely good news out of Europe during the Thursday session, if it's a muted response, well, there's non-farm payroll on Friday as well. So having said that, unless we break out of one of these 135 or 130 levels, we're going to remain flat until probably Monday of next week.